This video clip is just to basically show how I've designed the bicep armour for the Halo costume. It's made as a modular design. It's made up of different pieces, and an example is I can just spin this round. There's actually 4 component parts. Now this piece hasn't actually got the back piece on just yet, and that's because I've took it off, so I'm not too sure about the width of it. But the idea is that these will all be produced as individual components and then assembled to make the armour. I've sort of tried to keep it symmetrical, and I'll show you what I mean by that now. So I'll just minimise these. So this is the first part, and this is the arm shield, and what I've done is prepare this ready to be rapid prototyped. And if I just turn it around, you can see it's just completely hollow inside at this point, and that's going to be the top, and that will slot on to the bottom piece. Now I've designed these to the same measurements of the paper curer, so I'm hoping that they'll actually fit. Right, okay, so here's the bottom piece. Now this will probably change, to be honest. What I've tried to do is I've put a rim round the outside there, and that will slot into the top piece. And this is the LED housing unit, and this is a battery compartment. So if we look here, the LEDs will go here and the battery compartment will go here. On the underneath I've built in 2 hinges to allow the top to move more freely. I'm not sure if that will work or not. It works okay when I'm doing the simulations, but I still think I need to do a bit more work on this back part, if I'm honest. This piece here I've just got as where I can place sort of like a battery compartment in the back there, and just put a top piece on. So that's that part. Assemble then onto the bottom assembly. It should look pretty much like that. So this bit will be for the LED and the lights. You can see where it's actually cut in half there, and then this part will be, so it will attach to the, what I've called the humerus part, the bit that runs down the top of the arm, and that's as a separate unit. Again, this will be hollow, which is why it's only 2 halves, but I'm not sure if that actually will stick out too much. That's something they'll have to decide on when I've actually printed it off in 3D. So that's the midsection. Just close that one. Okay. Elbow plate, it pretty much is the same as the front plate, and I've tried to do it so it's symmetrical, so I can use it on both arms. That way it'll speed up the replication and mass production, should I say, of these components. This one is the elbow, it's slightly longer. You can see that there's some holes for the straps to go through here, and if I rotate it round, the idea is that that strap will come in through this hole, through this piece, and through that piece, so it won't go straight across. So I'm hoping that will be printed in 3D, and that's the back piece, the elbow piece. This is the humerus piece. This is the bit that fits in to allow it to move, and underneath this part I've got some recesses. These bits will clip onto the brackets. It'll allow this to be strapped to the other components, and this piece will allow it to fit to the arm ring. So this is the final design, what it will look like. There's the bicep armour on the front, and this part here is the shield. Now I've got the back missing off there, because it should, without the shield, actually stick out a lot further than that. So on the bicep assembly one, the way it should look actually is. Now I've done various versions of this, which is why it's saying there's one that's amended and one that's not. So if I just insert this piece in here, and if I line this one up first with that, so and finally, if I line those up with, I just have to zoom in here. And so that's how this would fit together. So these parts would attach to the ring. If I just so that will move to join in there, but that does look quite substantial on the arm, so you can see it into tune now on this piece. So I think that this is probably going to be just a little too much weight on the arm, but it's something I'll have to look into as proportionate wise. And although the halo is quite round here for the arm, the halo normally has got this sort of shape inside it, so I'm hoping that it'll actually look okay on that piece. But again, I'm not 100% convinced. But even so, if this is all joined in, this can be fiberglass between them to forge in if the pieces aren't correct, and these bits will just be reversed. So for the other arm, this piece here would move to the front, and that one there would move to the back. So if I go back into trimetric with it, this part will literally rotate round to fit on the other side, the other way, and that's how they attach. This part is linked, and what you can see if I zoom in is that all these are designed so where the brackets are, which are these pieces, and you can see the brackets there, that they all line up with the housing system that we've got on here. So when it's together, it should look very similar to that.